Okay, hi guys. I'm here to tell you a little bit about PLC homeschool curriculum, and further, besides my curriculum boxes, I also offer as a mentor or a learning coach for k12.com through PLC homeschool. So right now I'm going to log on to K12 to show you how it works. I'm going to show you my first grade, one of my first grade students' actual curriculum. They're in first grade, and the students, when you log on, I'll show you how it works here. When you log on, it'll tell you the student's name, and it'll tell you where you're at. So right here we're on math, obviously math, and it's Green Summit, which means in your math green book. Up at the top, it'll tell you the learning coach's name, which is mine, Marianne. And you'll go ahead and press on your students, and you'll press on to daily plan. And when you go to daily plan, this tells you what they need to do for the day. And today's Friday, April 17th. These were all of her assignments for today. Now, a big thing about the assignments are they need to be done daily or you start to fall behind. So I keep my students doing everything daily, and I go and I check it off for them. I check their test. I have them redo their test if they need to. But what I do as their learning coach or their teacher is I teach them the assignment first. So let's go on to, let's see, lesson 7, combined problems, more exploration. This is unit 15, lesson 7 for a first grader. We'll continue using learning coach, but usually your student will be on with their name. So as you go through their lesson, you go through it with them. We'll just click over. Now, they always have a practice your math skills, which is kind of cool. It tells you where your student's at. Like, we've counted by 10 since the beginning of the year. So your first grade student would fill in the missing answer, 60, 70, 80, 90. You can do it with them or let them do it on their own and then check it. But what I do is I like to go ahead and do these 3 questions with them so I can see if they're understanding what they're asking them. And most of my first graders can't read all of the words, so I help them. We read it out together, or if you click up here where it says read, it'll read everything to them. So they'll click the right answer, they'll check it, and if it's wrong, they're on Zoom with me, so they usually say, Miss Marianne, I got it wrong, or I can see their work. And what is the same as 6 and 3, 3 and 6? And which of the following is not equal to 9 plus 3? So 9, 10, 11, 12, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 plus 3 is not. So they check their answers. There we go. I go through it with them. And we'll click on to the next one just so you can see what they do for the day. Now, one thing I like about K12 is they give the students a kind of a fun lesson for them to learn before they actually get into the math that they're going to be learning today. So obviously, let me move this up this way. Obviously, today they're talking about part, and total. Okay, so we have 7 plus something equals 15. Now what I'll do is I'll have the students log on and I'll log on with them. And we're on Zoom, so when we're on Zoom, they can see me, I can see them, I can see their work on another screen, and we'll work on it together. So I'll explain this to the students, and I'll also do it on my whiteboard. And what I mean by my whiteboard, let me show you my whiteboard so you guys can see what I mean by whiteboard here. It's a new share, sorry. Whiteboard, so it'll be here. There's my whiteboard, so if I needed to work out something with them, I can draw it out for them. I can text it out if we're doing on sight words, but I'll usually make it so it looks something like this, 16 plus something, what they're working on, part, whole, equals 19. And then I'll ask them, what is the missing number here? And we'll go over it together. I'll explain to them that usually when there's a missing number for addition, we're going to count up from 16 all the way to 19. So let's do it. 16, 17, 18, 19. So we have 3 total. So we have 16 plus 3 equals 19. So this is how I kind of work with them. Let me clear it and show you I can also do texting with them. So if they needed to know a sight word, I'll ask them their sight words. So we work on the whiteboard here. I just want to show you how my whiteboard works when we're doing Zoom. And usually when we're doing Zoom, students are focused and ask me questions at the same time since we can see each other. So we go over all of their lessons. This is just the math one that I was showing you. Let's go back to their first grade lessons for today. And as their learning coach, I'm the one who goes through the lessons with them. I'm the one that goes through and makes sure they mastered everything. I'm the one that goes through their quizzes and see what they need more reinforcement on. And I also go over math, handwriting and writing skills for a first grader, literature and comprehension, phonics and spelling, vocabulary, and history. Now this should all be done in one day. Some things take 5 minutes, some things take up to 30 minutes, depending on where the student's at in their learning. And their learning scale. Some students take 2 or 3 times to go over history, so we really understand what we're reading. Some get it right away. So a lot of it I do is one-on-one, so a lot of it is basically individualized. So if your student's not getting some of these concepts, I will send, extra worksheets home with them or anything else that they need to get the concepts. Because the next day we're going to move on, and when we move on, they have to master this daily concept for them to help them with the next concept. So if you look over here, materials they'll need, you click on it. It tells you what they need for the day. So basically I go over with my students our daily work, and I tell them you must have your math lesson book out, and I'll tell them what page to turn to, what pages to rip out and do, and show me when they're done. Right here we have K12 Language Arts Activity Book, WS 101. So they're going to rip out WS 101, 199, and we're going to work on those today together. Go to Literature and Comprehension. They're reading a story here. It's a mid-semester checkpoint, so they're going to do their own checkpoint on this. I let them do their checkpoint by themselves first. And since it's the mid-semester, I want to know what they know and what they don't know. Once they get their grade, if it's too low, then I'll go ahead and run through it with them. But I'll also reinforce those skills that they're lacking. We have phonics and spelling. We have vocabulary. Then it tells you here, usually vocabulary, you get a list of vocabulary words. Let me show you that really quick for the first graders. So we have shout and scream. They need to know the definitions of both, drizzle and pour, walk and march, carry and lug. So obviously these are synonyms. They kind of mean the same thing. And then we'll go into geography terms. Now we'll do this first, related verbs first. And I believe they do this for a week, then they'll take a test on it. Then they'll move on to geography terms and take a test on it, and then geography terms B. And then after the 3 weeks, they'll take a test on all 3. And that way they're understanding their vocabulary. So that's vocabulary. Let me exit out of vocabulary really quick here. And back to the daily plan. So there we go. So that's how K12 works. Like I said, I'll log on every day with your student. I do mentor and help them through it. Some of them like to do it at home first and then come online during our class session, ask me any questions. But I like to go through it with them and run along some of the, especially the new things. So if they've already learned, this one's Unit 5, Lesson 7. If they've already learned this and it's just a review, I'll go ahead and let them do it on their own. But if it's something new, I will introduce it to them. So that's how it's used for K12. Now PLC Homeschool, let me put a couple things up here for you guys to understand on my whiteboard actually. And we'll text them. Okay, so PLC Homeschool. You can go ahead and email at plchomeschool14@gmail.com if you're interested. I also have a website, which will tell you a little bit more about what I do. What is my website? I'm sorry. You know, if you also, I also offer curriculum. So if you go on my website, you'll see that I do offer curriculum for preschool, TK, K, and 1st through 6th graders. I do ELA and grammar. I do reading, writing, comprehension, multiplication, division. I offer a curriculum sent to the home. Basically, if you don't want to go through the K12 and you wanted to do your own curriculum on your own time, I do make curriculum boxes, which will help you sort out what's needed. Now, my curriculum boxes are based on what's needed for Common Core for them to know for the whole 1st grade. So it's not anything extra, it's just exactly what they need for them to pass on. So, but with K12, you do get history, vocab, science, which is not offered in my boxes. So let's see, I'm a learning coach. I have over 18 years experience with, I've been in the private, public, and homeschooling classrooms. I offer, this is what I offer homeschooling. I offer K12 mentor learning coach. And this can be done weekly, daily, or on Saturdays. If students just wanted to come in on Saturdays to review their weekly work, I also offer Saturdays. I offer tutoring, and that's daily weekly, or just homework help. They can log on for homework help. All of this is done through Zoom. Students will receive the password to get into the classes. Also, I have Google Classroom. This is where I post, they will also get the password for that. This is where I post their assignments if needed, for, especially for Saturday tutoring students. So that's what I do. If you have any more questions or emails, go ahead and send them to me, and I'll space this out for you. But I just wanted to give you guys an idea of what PLC Homeschool comes from and what we offer here. Okay, thank you, and don't forget to have a pink day.